Thanks for watching. This is Tom Schmidt, president of the Massachusetts chapter for the Percussive Arts Society, and that was this year's All-State Timpani solo, number 41, tempo marking Grave from Style Studies for Timpani by Keith Larson. And I think it's a really great solo. There's a lot of musicality and a lot of really what represents everything that's great about timpani playing that you can showcase as far as your tone, intonation, and ability to move around the drums in a musical style. It's all included here in this solo. So I think it's an excellent choice for this kind of a thing. So for me, one of the biggest challenges for playing something like this in the Grave tempo is really just staying with that slow tempo and not rushing, not dropping anything, and really just sticking with a slow kind of subdivided 4. So if you can record yourself like I did today, maybe you can conduct in that subdivided 4, you may find that it's very helpful, and you may catch, oh yeah, I'm rushing there, or I'm dropping something. I'm sure when I go back and listen to this, I'll catch some of that. And this recording was not perfect, for sure, but I tried to capture some of that musicality and phrasing that is necessary for this style. And I think doing some listening, Wagner's funeral music could be a good one. Siegfried's funeral music from Wagner's Götterdämmerung. Sorry. That's a nice, slow, mournful, heavy, kind of at times, tempo and style to listen to. Beethoven's Pathétique piano sonata. Another one in the Grave tempo. It's slow. Just take a listen to that, conduct along, and get a feeling for the tempo. I think it would be really easy to play this piece, 1, 2, doom, boom, ding, dum, boom, something not in the tempo and the style. And you wouldn't get that character if you had too quick of a tempo. So you might want to be thinking around even the 40s or so. Quarter note equals 40. Other things with my approach to timpani. First and foremost, of course, is tuning and intonation on timpani. You've got to have that together. I would recommend practicing on the piano and practicing with a tuner, singing the pitches into the tuner. You may find that very helpful. So something I might just come along, head over to the piano here, and this is the piece starts off in what they call a minor major 7th chord. You have the minor triad, F, A flat, C natural, but then the major 7th. Then later it becomes an actual minor 7th triad. But first off, maybe just getting comfortable with playing and singing that pitch. I'm lucky that I'm kind of a bass, so I can sing those lower notes, but find where your vocal register lies and experiment with singing. So it'd be something like this, just being at the piano, and maybe even thinking of this, maybe here. Playing some of these little licks. Me, 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 do, me, and then singing triad. Maybe you couldn't hear that well, but I was trying to just play some of this on the piano while singing, and then of course test your singing with the tuner. It'd be good, because you probably shouldn't just bring a tuner into an audition and start using the tuner for your audition. I think for an audition, you're really wanting to showcase your pitch and your ability to hear pitches and match pitches on the timpani. Certainly if you did that at a college audition and came with a tuner, that would work against you, and you might even be asked to put the tuner away, or I don't know, but it might get awkward with that. So I'm not sure what the policy is, but practicing the pitches and having a tuning fork that has your A could be a good way to start. Some timpanists even have tuning forks of all pitches, so you can even, instead of using the A, you can get an actual starting pitch of something different. But with the tuning fork, you can just activate a tuning fork, bring it up to your ear, and you've got that A. From there, you might want to sing, if you wanted to get the F first, you could sing hot cross buns down to the F. That's one way to do it. Or you may find other ways of music to get comfortable with the pitches. I might get used to singing this melody, maybe this melody along there, because you got the E, the C, the C, the A flat, everything is right there in that section in the second measure. So that may help you practicing singing that melody. Then you may find that you like to tune the drums in that order. And of course, when it comes time to get to the drums, I think it's important to always tune from below. You'll really be able to zero in on the pitch, and you'll find that as the drum tightens in on the pitch, it's not going to get flat as you play. Whereas if you tune from above, you're not zeroing in on the pitch, and you'll find that it's really easy as you play for the drums to go a little flat. So I'll show you a little what I mean. Just softly, I'm going to tune in that order of that lick there. So. I've got my E. Just kind of like that, tuning in that order of the melody in the second measure. So, hearing the pitches in your head from your practice with the tuner and on the piano, and then tuning in that order. Certainly we can set the gauges on timpani, and I think that's important to do for a lot of band repertoire, and it is helpful in this piece, of course, where we have some really quick changes. I ran into a little trouble with some of that in my performance, but you never know, even with the gauge, it still can be a little off when you're talking about really zeroing in on the pitch. So I played a lot of the piece. I used a pair of Jason Ginter, Michael Obringer, kind of European style bamboo mallets. With these, I find I'm comfortable at times playing more German, where my hands are over. If I use bigger mallets with a wider shaft, I find that I like to use French grip a little more to not overplay. Both are fine. There are certainly times in this Grave style I gravitated to more flesh on the stick and a little more into the drum. But always, of course, having nice rolls is about keeping your wrists relaxed. And another thing as far as being at home or practicing on your timpani in the band room, I know that's what I did, find that time in study period or that time after school. Or if you have someone that wants to buy you a set of timpani, that's great too. Could come in handy for your career. But for most of us, it's practicing after school or during study periods. So checking in with your timpani at school, and maybe if you're having a hard time hearing pitches from the timpani, certainly a lot of it is developing your ear. There also could be an issue with the drums. Maybe the drums are singing different pitches from each lug. So there are techniques for what they call clearing the drum heads, which really means making sure each lug is singing the same pitch, and then the resonance is kind of in the same pitch as the initial attack. It's a really, really deep topic and takes years and years to develop and really develop your ears to where you're hearing these pitches in a really clear singing fashion from the drums. But you may find a lot of issues could be from where the range is on the drums, making sure the drum's in the right range, and being sure that each lug is somewhat around the same tension. So one thing you could do is if you have a drum dial, just going around, maybe starting with a looser tension and making sure each tension rod is around the same number for each part of the drum. So if trying that at a low tension, then a higher tension, then you may come across like, whoa, one of these lugs is really out of whack, out of sync with the rest. It's reading a completely different number here on the drum dial. So let's try to get it to where at a low pitch and a medium pitch, maybe even a high pitch, each lug is singing a similar pitch being at the same tension. So just going around, being about 3 fingers away from each lug, checking in on the drum dial that they all have a similar tension. That can solve a lot, and that can really make your timpani sing a pitch much, much better and allow yourself to hear pitches easier from the timpani. So I think that just about covers a lot of it, just really thinking about a slow, mournful, heavy, sorrowful tempo. Thinking about the overall phrase, your touch, your roll speed, and it's a solo, so it's certainly a chance to be expressive. And I'd rather hear myself made some mistakes, but was really trying to think of the overall phrase a lot. So I'd personally rather hear a timpanist that's focusing a lot on phrasing, can play in tune, has nice rolls, as opposed to this being exactly perfect and maybe too fast without that kind of musicality. So I think it's an excellent piece. And if you have any questions, feel free to stay in touch. T. Schmidt, TSCHMIDT, at Berkeley, BERKLEE.edu. And thanks for watching. Bye.